On the news tonight, federal government inaugurates freight services on Apapa-Ibadan cargo rail. Defense chief announces people-centric strategy to tackle banditry and terrorism. And 650,000 barrels per day Dangote refinery yet to begin production after August commencement date. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Achigun. The federal government has inaugurated the first cargo movement from the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor after initial concern over the underutilization of the standard gauge rail line 2 years after its commissioning. The inauguration was performed by the Minister of Transportation Saidu Alkali during his first official tour of the rail corridor on Tuesday, September 12, 2023. This effort is expected to decongest the Apapa port as shippers moved 92.28% of Nigeria's total export and 60.77% of imports through the facility in the first quarter of 2022.
Well, you know, transportation is a gateway to a nation's economy. And you have seen by yourself, we just came out of Apapa Port and we have just finished the inaugural ceremony of the movement of the train from Apapa to Ibadan. As it is, we are using one standard gauge line, but we are liaising with the Nigerian Customs Service to have another 2 lines into Apapa Port. The one we are using now will have the ability to carry 30 food containers, and we have like 3 trips in a day. So when you multiply 30 by 3, we have 90 food containers per day as it is now. By the time we are able to fix the remaining 2 lines, which means you have 3 times 3 times 3. So in a day, we will be able to decongest Apapa Port with 270 food containers from Apapa to Ibadan. We are going to ensure that the existing contracts has been executed, and as I told you earlier on, it is a vision of this administration to ensure that the transport sector is enhanced, especially with the withdrawal of petroleum subsidy. That will make the cost of transportation much easier, and not only easier, but it's also cost efficient.
Let's now speak with TV 360 correspondent Sydney Okafor, who witnessed the inauguration. Sydney, if you can hear me, the freight services on the Apapa-Ibadan cargo rail has finally officially started. Let me put it that way. Now give us details of what went down at the cargo rail.
Well, Sydney, if I get you correctly, about the inauguration of the new Apapa rail track. Well, it's a welcome development, and everyone was happy about it. It has been in operation for over 2 years now, and finally the Honorable Minister has launched it. And during this launching, the Managing Director, Fidel Orekare, disclosed to us that this was meant to be because to decongest the Apapa port. And this has been ongoing for quite some time now, and today finally now they are able to decongest the Apapa port. And in this Apapa port, about 92.28% of Nigeria's total exports and 60.77% of these imports comes from these ports in every quarter. But with this initiative now that they have launched this Apapa port, it will be able to decongest the Apapa port from Lagos to every other state in the country.
All right, Sydney.
Another high point of this.
Sorry to cut you. Okay, continue. Go on, Sydney.
So another high point of this particular launching today was that the minister disclosed to us as well that they are working really, really hard to make sure that they link the Lagos Apapa Railway to Kano. to Kano at the moment, and the project is on, and before the end of this year, definitely that one also will be done.
All right, Sydney, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Sydney, for the update. That was our correspondent, Sydney Okafor, filling us in on the official inauguration of the freight services on the Apapa-Ibadan cargo rail. Now, to speak further on the economic benefits that this cargo rail will bring to Nigeria, economic expert Akin Ogunshola joins me on the news. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, the Apapa-Ibadan cargo rail has commenced operations finally. Now, what are some economic gains that you think this project will bring for the country?
Businessmen in Nigeria, because now they can have their goods, in fast time, in early time. Unlike the before now, you see trailer loads waiting to get their container foods from the Apapa port, spending days and nights queuing up in order to get their goods from the port. But now with the advent of the commissioning of this rail line, I believe this will help to decongest not just the Tinkan port in Apapa or Wharf. It will also help to decongest the road of heavy trucks carrying heavy-duty products through the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It will also help to reduce the congestion on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and make the road to also last longer. It will also reduce accidents because we have a lot of truck failing brake and all that, on that route. We are also looking forward to seeing the transportation of petroleum products instead of the using of the tankers, also to pass through the rail lines. This will help, to improve economic activity down in the southwest and then spreading towards the north central and then the northern part of the country. It has a lot of economic benefits to the country, both directly and indirectly.
Now, other states are considering, having such rail ports rather than rely solely on the Apapa ports. Now, do you consider the possibility of this happening?
Oh, yes, there's possibility because now we have a seaport in Lagos. Other states are going to be having dry ports. You will also recall that during the administration of the President Muhammadu Buhari, a dry inland port was actually constructed in Kaduna and also extending to Kano. These dry inland ports are ports that other states they can afford to create space for this kind of port so that people don't need to travel as far as other states to go to Lagos to clear their goods and then continue to travel along the roads again in order to get their goods. If they pass them through the rail lines, it becomes more easy. Even customs, we have more access in generating more funds so that they can easily clear these goods in time. It will also make exportation much easier so that when you want to export, you don't need to travel all the way to move your goods from any other state to Lagos or to Port Harcourt. You can, from your state, use the rail line. You will have given it to custom in your state, and then custom will now transport it to the rail lines to the Apapa port, and then from there it goes out of the country. We cannot really overemphasize the importance of this, and I believe that's why the federal government actually embarked on this project in the first place. And I believe, and I think is a serious welcome development. We appreciate the government for this initiative.
Well, economic expert Akin Ogunshola, thank you as always for your insights. Now to security matters. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has highlighted the need for a people-centric leadership concept as he commits to ensuring better synergy among the Nigerian armed forces and the civilian populace. The Defense Chief spoke on Monday while delivering a lecture titled Nigeria's Security and Defense Policies to participants of Senior Course 46 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State. According to him, the approach will help in addressing contemporary and emerging security challenges posed by terrorists, bandits, secessionists, and other criminal elements threatening the corporate existence of the country. General Musa also emphasized that defending the territorial integrity of the country against its enemies is the fundamental responsibility of the armed forces, adding that no part of the country will be occupied by criminal elements. Now, for many, studying the course of choice comes without hassle, while for others, they have to make the best of what is offered to them and they end up a success story. This is the tale of 26-year-old Faith Michael, who became a visual artist by accident and refers to herself as an accidental artist. According to Faith, the hand of Providence took her to study fine art at the Now Tue Polytechnic, Edo State, where she specialized in painting. Our correspondent, Tamilore Akinkolie, tells us more in this report.
Faith's journey to the world of arts began when she picked up a post-UTM form where the course of study session had been filled with fine arts in error. Faith initially wanted to study library information science, but with the new part orchestrated for her, she decided to learn how to handle a brush or know how to mix colors and create masterpieces on the Faith easel or drawing board.
Art chose me. I did not choose art. So when I went to get my post-UTMA form, I don't like mathematics. It stressed me a lot. So I just told the person in charge, let me go through the art courses they offer in Now Tue Polytechnic so I can just pick probably mass comm or anything. That was where this guy just mistakenly by himself chose art. And I was looking at him. I went with my friend. She was angry, like, why would you do a thing like this? I just thought, okay, no problem. When I get the admission, there's possibility I can get a change of course form to the department I wish to. So I was given the admission, I went to school, I went to the department. I loved what I saw. So I said, if people here can do it, I too can do it. That was the fate I had. Like my name implies fate, so I have to work with it.
Without prior knowledge or skill, Faith, now popularly called the accidental artist, was faced with the daunting challenge of flourishing in the art field. Now, the 26-year-old native of Imo State says she is not scared of the rudiments of her profession.
Along the line, it was something different because I never had any foundation in arts. I could not draw, I could not do anything. I just went to the department and it was hell. At the time, I felt like this is not my field. Let me just, after my national diploma, I'll just get something else. But after that, I still felt like I think there is something in this art that I'm destined for. And so I had to stay back and pursue what pursued me. Yes. So and finally, I overcome it. And this is me today, a full-time studio artist. And I'm doing well by the grace of God.
Faith, the accidental artist, has now been in the fine art field for 2 years and does more of images and figures, and oftentimes she makes live drawing which she says they appeal to her more.
In the next 5 years, I see myself as an established artist. Just in the space of 2 years, I've been able to come up with this. Imagine adding another 5 years to it, that's 7 years. I don't think I should be where I am. It's not possible. Like, I can say to myself, it's not possible because whatever you dream, that's what you become.
Faith, now a progressing visual artist with few art exhibitions to her name, is gaining recognition among artists and art enthusiasts. She aspires to get better with the aim of setting herself up as one of Nigeria's elite visual artists. Tamilore Akinkolie, TV 360 Lagos.
And now to politics. The National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal has declared the February 25 election that pronounced Thaddeus Atta of the Labour Party as representative of the Etiosa Federal Constituency in Lagos inconclusive. In a late-night judgment delivered on Monday, the tribunal ruled that the elections were inconclusive and directed the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to conduct a supplementary election within 90 days in all polling units where voting did not take place. The electoral umpire had declared Atta as the winner of the election with 24,075 votes, defeating Bankole Wellington of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), who polled 18,666 votes, and Ibrahim Obanikoro, who scored 16,901 votes. Both Wellington and Obanikoro had filed the petitions challenging the election results. We'll go on a short break. Still to come, Niger absent as Nigeria, Benin, Togo flag of joint regional maritime operation. We'll bring you details when News Now returns. Stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go Tour app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Let's get a quick recap of our top stories tonight. The federal government has inaugurated the first cargo movement from the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor after initial concern over the underutilization of the standard gauge rail line 2 years after its commissioning. The inauguration was performed by the Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali, during his first official tour of the rail corridor on Tuesday, September 12, 2023. This effort is expected to decongest the Apapa port as shippers moved 92.28% of Nigeria's total exports and 60.77% of imports through the facility in the first quarter of 2022. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Welcome back. Mary Kanu is on standby with business news. Over to you now, Mary.
Many thanks to Ms. Ola. Welcome to Business News. Experts have called for increased focus on sectors outside the energy industry as a key pivot of growth at a time when Nigeria is struggling to restore crude oil production to pre-pandemic levels. This call comes just as the Dangote refinery is yet to begin production after the August commencement date earlier announced by the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote. This next report has more details.
On the 22nd of May 2023, former President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the $19 billion Dangote refinery, meant to revolutionize crude oil refining in Africa. The refinery was expected to meet 100% of Nigeria's requirement of all refined products and also have a surplus of each of the products for exports.
Our first goal is to ramp up production of the various production to ensure that within this year, we are able to fully satisfy our nation's demand for higher quality products to enable us to eliminate the tragedy of import dependency and stop once and for all the dumping in our market of toxic substandard petroleum products. Our first product will be in the market before the end of July, beginning of August this year.
4 months after this speech was made and weeks after the promised production deadline, the 650,000 barrels per day Dangote refinery is yet to begin production. The failure of the refinery, which was expected to mark Nigeria's exit from the League of Oil Rich Nations, which are heavy importers of petroleum products, is coming at a time when Nigeria has been struggling with the impact of fuel subsidy removal. Reacting to this, the National Controller Operations Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mike Osatuye, says there is no cause for alarm as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is on top of its game.
We have been able to sustain the system. So NNPC has to wake up to ensure that there is adequate stock in the country and that in which so that Nigeria will not experience any scarcity. But I believe that NNPC also must be a shareholder in that system, must also know that it's not working as planned and is going, they are going to make kind of a plan so that we don't have stock out in the country.
Osatuye also advised the federal government to ensure that all the local refineries come on stream rather than depend on the Dangote refinery.
You are aware that for so many years now, the refinery we have that are called Wari Kaduna, they're not working. It's the failure of the past governments. And that's unfair for the country. But by the same time, since we have now seen a government that is more responsible, that's more responsive, that gives us a guarantee that yes, very soon we are going, refinery will be working.
The urgency to ramp up non-oil exports as foreign exchange earnings face perennial pressure from the devaluation of the naira have been emphasized by experts in the oil and non-oil sectors of the economy. Mary Kanu, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a break now, but up next is Stock Market Report. The Nigerian exchange has closed in negative territory at the end of trading as equities fell by 294 billion naira on the back of FTSE Russell ratings. Now, the global index provider FTSE Russell on Monday downgraded the Nigerian Stock Exchange from frontline to unclassified market. Now, the reclassification set to take effect on September 18, 2023 prompted immediate sell-offs as equities took a plunge. The market recorded another session of negative close by 0.8%. Investors continue to sell stocks like Academy and eTransact. As expected, market breadth is negative with just 16 gainers against 45 losers. Now, market summary shows 645 million shares exchanged hands in 10,554 deals. Well, let's switch our attention to some select global stocks. Although global oil prices have topped their highest levels of 2023, raising concerns about a slowing global economy, the FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei are not affected by this news as these stocks continue to follow the bullish path. And that's the stock market report. Simisola, back to you now for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Mary, for the update. And on the global scene, the navies of Benin Republic, Togo and Nigeria have flagged off Operation Safe Domain 2 with the theme Enhancing Maritime Security through Collaboration for Regional Prosperity. The event, which was held in Benin Republic, had Niger Republic, one of the signatories to the Memorandum of Understanding, absent at the ceremony. According to the director of the Multinational Maritime Coordination Center, Zone E, Commodore Aniedi Ibok, the operation is an aspect of an MOU signed in 2014. Ibok said the agreement is to enable the navies of each country to fight criminal elements without any border restrictions. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Captain America's star Chris Evans breaks hearts as he ties the knot with his long-term girlfriend and Portuguese movie star Alba Baptista of the Nollywood Netflix series Warrior Nun in a private wedding ceremony at their home in Massachusetts. The couple, who made their relationship official in January 2023, had in attendance at their private and beautiful wedding some of Evans' co-stars from the Marvel franchise, including Robert Downey, Chris Hemsworth, and Jeremy Renner. Insiders said the new couple are in love and Chris has never been happier. Congratulations to Chris and Alba. Renowned Nigerian music star Arastar's Rush has been certified diamond in France after it surpassed 500,000 units in sales. The hit single has made waves both at home and abroad, reaching the summit of Turntable Top 100, which is Nigeria's only aggregate chart, garnered over 240 million streams on Spotify and amassed 232 million views on YouTube. It has also enjoyed international success, where it charted in France and UK official singles chart, making her the first Nigerian female artist to register a solo entry. Rush has undoubtedly been a huge and well-deserved success. And that's all on the entertainment segment of News Now. Omomi Siriki, TV360, Lagos.
In sports, former president of the Spanish Football Federation, Luis Rubiales, has been summoned by the Spanish authorities to appear in court on Friday before an examining magistrate to be heard as accused and to respond to accusations of sexual assault. Rubiales stepped down as the Spanish Football Federation's president on Sunday, but continued to defend himself over a case to 46-year-old Hermoso following Spain's triumph in Sydney on August 20, when she said she was not consensual, while Rubiales insists that it was. She also accused Rubiales of pressuring her to speak out in defense immediately after the furor over the case erupted, which prosecutors said could be considered a crime of coercion. Well, that's all on News Now this evening. Many thanks for watching. I'm Simisola Adikun. Bye for now.